Welcome everyone. My name is Nick Hershey. I am the president of the Mortgage Calculator. We are a non-delegated correspondent lender that operates a little bit differently. So I'd like to thank you for joining us today so we can go over a little bit about what makes us special and how we operate. So I'll explain a little bit about that, and then we'll pass it over to Kyle Hershey, our COO. He'll actually show a little bit behind the scenes how everything works. And then we'll close it off with Jose Gonzalez, our sales manager with 28 years of experience, to put it together in a more traditional sense. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. And hopefully most of you have joined from this page and checked out a little bit of information, but let me explain a little bit more about what we mean here. So as you can tell, we are different than most other companies. We come from a different type of background. Myself and Kyle, we come from a marketing and technology background, and basically for the last 20 years have generated leads at scale for different businesses. So we're all about unlimited free leads powered by our software to push that through. So that's a CRM, POS, LOS, all built in together. And then of course we have AI built in on every step of the way. So we're all about setting you guys up with our systems so that we can effectively manage our leads. Now let's talk a little bit more about what makes us different. As I mentioned before, we're non-delegated correspondent, and we just want to make sure we give you guys a platform to scale your business instantly. So again, we're not your traditional bankers. We want to build a system, a platform for you guys to plug into and instantly do more from what you're already doing. So whether that's company leads, you tap into our leads, or you already have your own leads and just need a system and a platform in order to generate more leads from what you're already doing, you can plug into our system instantly. So let's talk a little bit more about how we do all this. So our business model, as I mentioned before, is non-delegated correspondent. So we built this team, this branch, whatever you want to call it, company, and all the different models. So from an FDIC bank to broker to non-delegated to delegated, we found that the best model is non-delegated correspondent. And we're currently approved with over 120 lenders and investors. What that really means is we can broker or do correspondent loans, whatever is best for our borrowers. Typically, that's going to be where we're the lender. So we have over 5,000 loan programs where we're the lender, and that's the correspondent channel with our 34 correspondent investors. And that's always going to have the best rates and pricing because even at the same lender for the same program, if we're funding the loan with our own money and drawing the docs with our law firm and all that stuff and all the risk that comes along with it, we get better pricing than the broker pricing. Now, if there's any reason we can't fund the loan with our own money and need some sort of home for that loan, we have over 110 wholesale lenders for those specialty loans that fall outside the box. So what that means for you and your clients, we have every loan program available, all the standard stuff, VA, USDA, FHA, Fannie, Freddie, non-QM, DSCR, that's all the stuff we fund in-house typically. Once we go a little bit outside the box, commercial, fix and flip, ground up, mixed use, CDFI, SBA, all the stuff that's a little bit outside the box, that's where we typically partner with a wholesale lender. And as I mentioned before, we have AI built in on every step. We call our AI assistant Calvin, the AI loan officer assistant. He's going to send you different emails and help you push your loan from start to finish. So we have that built in every step. Now let's talk a little bit more about the technology here. So you're looking at our website here. So everything starts with our website. Everybody gets their own instant lead generating website with the AI built in, CRM, POS, LOS, everything all built in. And it's built for us, by us. We've written every line of code for what you see here. What that really means for you guys and your customers is one login for you and one login for your customer. Your prospects can come from the basics, email, name, phone number, to pulling their own live rates, completing their own 1003, pulling their own credit. Those liabilities get all synced into Encompass all instantly. And the best part is you and your customer don't need to log into Encompass. We also have our system built in with our rate quote. So if you rate quote at one of our correspondent investors, where we have over 5,000 loan programs, we can automatically requote those customers as the programs update and as the markets fluctuate. So that's an awesome feature we have that automates your process. We do all this with our API integration. So over 50 API integrations with, as I mentioned before, Encompass. You don't have to log into Encompass, but that's what we use as our base. Optimal Blue for pricing, that's what we use as our base. You don't need to log in for that. Meridian Link for credit, Count Check for VOE, VOI, VOA. Appraisal works, 5 AMC is a click of a button. You get the point. Everything is just a click of a button away in the system and built in. You can also get instant business cards and flyers and start promoting yourself instantly and capturing leads from your website users that aren't even necessarily filling out a form. So if you have some of your customers that are just starting to engage, we can let you know and you can take action. We can also get you leads from our automated social media postings. So just like you get the automatic flyers, as soon as you set up your website, put your picture up there, we'll automatically post social media post to your social media there with lead generating links. So all of your posts on Facebook or whatever you plug in and connect will automatically tag back to you. And we have AI built in at every step. So on this step here, we call it Calvin Dual Oz AI. So a lot of companies have Dual Oz built into their platforms, but we also run that through our Calvin AI analysis to see what option may be best for our borrowers. So all kinds of cool features there. And the best part is we can add new features as needed with our development staff that opens a new update pretty much every week. Now let's get into the training and support. So through all the different models, we found that the training and support was definitely lacking, especially in the remote-based environment. So even though we are remote, we want to make sure we are training you guys and have access to all the information you need at all times. So we do that with our remote training center. It's courses. It's open 24/7, 365 for you to go in there, learn all the different aspects, upgrade, do all the different things you might need. Then we have our live trainings 5 days a week. We do our mortgage rates podcast, which we just finished this morning. We do sales trainings every week, and we also do our loan officer trainings where we go into more of like condition reviews every week as well. We also have our live Zoom support. So again, even though we're all remote based here, we want to make sure we can get face to face. Our Zoom support can go ahead and take over your screen. The processors can tell you what to click or even click it for you. And we have our knowledge center built in with not only all of our info, but thousands of articles from our partners, tips, tricks, guidelines, matrices, all kinds of different resources you can search in one click. And we have our Calvin AI built in, the compliance here. So all the federal regulations and of course the states we're licensed in are built into our AI analysis there in case compliance isn't available. And the last item here, just some items that don't fit in the other categories. Definitely the first one we're very passionate about, DSCR loans are our favorite types of loans here. We can do those business purpose loans in 44 total states. So opportunity to expand your footprint there. We have all kinds of different ways we give you leads. Kyle will show you a few here. It's a very simple 50-50 split, no matter where you get them. We can automate your lead generation at scale. Like I mentioned before, you can plug in. You can also set up your own lead campaigns with, Kyle will show you how that works. And we can also import your leads if you're already buying them elsewhere. If for any reason you need to refer a deal to your teammates, you can still earn 75 basis points. Maybe you're not licensed in the state. Maybe you don't know how to do a fix and flip loan. It's your first time. Go ahead and click that button, refer it to a team member, and you can still earn 75 basis points on that. And we're a lender, so obviously it takes a while to get paid out on loans. It's not always instant, but we do have instant payroll available. So that option is there for our team. And there's no monthly fees or hidden fees or desk fees. We want to make sure what you see is what you get. We want it to be very straightforward for you. And the final item here, we want to make sure we still see everybody face to face. So we have our annual retreat here in Miami where we can meet everybody face to face at least once per year, and we'll pay for the hotel room for any of our mellows that are closing loans. So great opportunity to meet everybody face to face. And here is a replay of the video in case you get lost. Feel free to watch that. But let's look at the compensation here. Oops. Let me scroll out a little bit, zoom out a little bit. Perfect. Now we can see both options. So for the compensation plans, obviously the senior loan officers where everybody's drawn to. So we'll start there. Everybody wants to upgrade, earn the top commission here, 225 basis points. Absolutely amazing. On conventional and non-QM, that's 2.25% for those that may not be familiar. And again, a simple 50-50 split. So no matter where you grab a company lead, if you grab it, no problem. That's 112.5 basis points for any company leads. For the conventional non-QM stuff, we're all used to. Now our senior loan officers obviously get everything everybody else does, but they're going to get some extra perks as well. They're going to receive those referral leads from their team. So maybe they're not licensed, maybe they haven't done that type of loan. Not only is that a lead, it's more of a referral, right? It's a referral from your teammate. It comes with a ready, willing, and able client and a teammate that's going to help you put that deal together. So those are the best leads we have. Then, of course, our senior loan officers obviously have unlimited access to all the other lead sources Kyle will show you here in a second, and have access to get a monthly bonus for those of you rocking and rolling. Again, we have a platform here we want you guys to plug into. If you're already killing it, we can give you back 25 basis points monthly bonus for anything over $2 million for those of you that are really killing it out there. And for those of you that like to teach, we have a team leader option where if you want to start advising your team, structuring files, helping disclose files, you can earn 25 basis points by helping your team structure those files. Now, our senior loan officers need to be experienced. It is very unique to do broker and correspondent at the same time. It is very hard to wear those two hats at the same time. So we want to make sure you have experience. 6 loans in the last 12 months. Take the test. Look great to senior loan officer. If you don't have that experience or you haven't taken the test yet, no problem. Start as a loan officer, 150 basis points. That's on conventional non-QM, 1.5%. And 75 basis points if you take a company lead. So that's 0.75%. Now you can do both non-delegated and broker with our 120 plus investors and lenders on the list. You get the instant access to the website that we're looking at now with all the cool features built in. You get our AI integration with Calvin that's going to help push your loans through, even if you're inexperienced. And you'll have access to all kinds of different leads. Kyle will show you here in a second. And again, if you need to click that button, maybe you're not licensed, maybe you're not familiar, maybe it's your spouse, you can click that button, earn 75 basis point, and refer that deal to a senior loan officer that can help you out on that loan. And we're licensed in 23 states for primary second homes, and that means we can do 21 additional states for business purpose DSCR loans, which is one of our favorites. So feel free to apply for the plan that you're applicable for. Let me go ahead and pass it over to Kyle to show you some of the back end and how the software actually works and looks. So you ready, Kyle?
Yes, let me go ahead and share my screen here and we will get into it. So just a little quick demo of our CRM. Just like any other CRM here, you can create your notes, send your emails, send your texts, and we also have a button that you can click for our AI assistant to create your texts and emails for you, which is pretty cool. And all of the communication piles up down here. You can set reminders for yourself. You can put people on action plans, drip campaigns to automatically text them and email them on your behalf over the course of years. So all that kind of good stuff that any other CRM would have. But what really starts to separate us apart here is our quoting system. So within a few minutes here, you can put in just 6 pieces of info. You can press a button and pull the pricing from all of our different investors. And you can pop out a quote like this to your client with a nice, pretty quote where they can see their different rate choices. They can scroll over these things here and see what they mean. It pulls in the Google map automatically. It pulls in the Zestimate automatically, has the proposed loan info here, the monthly breakdown automatically of the taxes, insurance, and all that kind of stuff. The estimated lender fees, you here as the loan officer, and you can also attach a realtor to it. And your realtor partners absolutely love it because they know when they send you a client, not only can you quote them within a few minutes, but the realtor will be included on the quote, which none of the other loan officers that they are working with are doing that for them. Now, the coolest part about this is the client can then click Start Loan Application. And what that does is takes them right to their borrower portal, which looks like this here, where they can start their application. They fill out their 1003 right here without having to leave the page. They can start uploading the required documents. They can see their loan info here. They can see the milestone of where their loan is at in the process, which updates automatically as you go through the loan process, right? So everything that the client needs here in their portal. Now, let me show you what it looks like on your end here once an application is started. So once a client submits an application, what happens is we actually pull credit instantly and automatically. That way your client doesn't have to pay for it up front. You don't have to pay for it up front. And that way, when you click our Encompass API here to pull up the file, all the info from the 1003 is already imported, the credit is already imported, liabilities, everything is here in the file ready to go for you to originate it here in our system. Now, as Nick talked about earlier, we do have our dual OS, our dual automated underwriting here. You can do the automated underwriting for Fannie and Freddie with one click, and also our AI actually compares it side by side for you. So that is another cool thing there. Now, once you're actually originating the loan here, and the loan is in underwriting, if we scroll down here, you'll see you'll get your underwriter conditions here, and you're able to either upload documents to fulfill them or dispute the condition to kick it back to the underwriter, or whatever the case may be. You can also request documents from here, whether it's you or your processor requesting documents or packets of documents, or e-signatures right here through our system where they don't have to leave our system. They can sign it right there in their borrower portal. So everything is here in our system from start to finish. This is how we take a client from being a just name, email, phone number to communicating with them in the CRM, quoting them in the CRM, collecting their 1003, collecting their documents, fulfilling the underwriter conditions. All of this is happening right here in our CRM with one login for you and one login for your client. So now let's talk about where these leads come from in the first place. So first and foremost, we're going to be sending you leads every day via text message. Those are from our ad campaign. So as soon as somebody clicks on one of our ad campaigns, they double opt in to be contacted, and you get sent a text message immediately. So you can click the link to claim the lead, and you're able to call them right away. So just a little snapshot here of, a test profile here of the text coming in. Notice some business purpose, some DSCR, some general purchases here. So just an example of what it will look like when you're getting these texts all day. That's where the leads will be coming in live. So that's the first and foremost way that we provide you leads. Now, another way we provide you leads is in our auto dialer here. So just like any other auto dialer, you can call 300-400 people in a day. You can click one button to drop an automated text and email to them and then move right on to the next call. So you can use the dialer to reach a lot of people, and we have leads in here for you to call. So there's always thousands of leads in here for you to call, whether they're leads from our campaigns, whether they're realtor call lists, whether they're maybe cold call lists if other calls run out. So always calls in here for you to do using our auto dialer. Now, another way that you can work leads in our system is that you can actually purchase your own lead campaigns here. So notice we have a bunch of different products here where we're going to be giving you leads for free all day at a 50-50 split. But if you'd like to invest in some of your own leads, we can give you our same campaigns that we've proven out, and you can purchase the leads up front to not have to pay a lead split on the back end. So we're going to be giving you leads, but if you want even more leads and you want to not have to pay a lead split, you can choose some of these campaigns, which range from the same exact campaigns that we're doing coming in that you can choose, or even bulk lists of leads that may be aged or recycled or things like that, right? So all kinds of different services back here in case you want to invest in your own leads so you do not have to pay a split on the back end. Now, another way to work leads here in the system is if you're already purchasing leads from somewhere else. So let's say you're already doing campaigns with Zillow or LendingTree or something like that. We give you your webhook here so you can actually import those leads instantly in real time into the CRM. So you're notified by our CRM and you can call them and quote them and all that in our CRM instantly as they come in from that other lead source. So we give you your webhook here and the instructions on you to be able to do that. So that any way possible there is to work leads here, we provide that, whether it's the leads that we're sending you on a daily basis from our ad campaigns, or leads in our auto dialer, or leads that you purchase yourself, or leads that you purchase from third parties yourself. Every way there is to work leads, we have that built into our system here for you. So now what I want to do is go ahead and pass it over to Jose here to talk about how this kind of all comes together to close loans, right? So Jose has been a loan officer and a realtor for 28 years. So let me go ahead and pass it over to him so he can talk about that.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us for today's webinar. So it's great segue, right? You just heard about the leads. You already heard about all the technology, and you've heard of the support, right? And that's critical because we want to make sure, unless, for example, you're used to working leads and the technology and all that kind of stuff, you are going to need definitely some support in the beginning to connect all the dots on our systems, right? And especially if you're coming over from the agency world and now you're going to be doing non-QMS world, you're going to need additional support. So definitely in talking about how this all ties in together, I can talk about the example and then I'll talk about the support, but I'm going to mix it around this time and talk about the example of our MLO who got her leads campaign. She was new to the company and she picked up a great lead. It was an investment property, $1,056,000 on the loan amount, and it had been denied somewhere else, right? They tried to force it as a full doc loan, so got denied, and then she got the lead, and she booked a structure meeting with me to go over the lead, thinking maybe it was going to be full doc. She's still looking at the tax returns, and then thinking maybe bank statement loan. Luckily for her, we had that meeting. We were able to review all the documentation and realized after reviewing the documentation and guidelines that the best option for this loan was a profit and loss option. So we confirmed that the borrower had a good relationship with their accountant, that he was going to be able to provide the reports we needed and the letters for verification that we needed. So we were able to close that loan in a little bit over 3 weeks with an appraisal transfer as well, right? So we went from a loan being denied somewhere else, so they tried to force it, to our MLO doing her first profit and loss loan with the support. Now, she didn't have just that one meeting with me. She had multiple meetings because it was a very tough deal, and we closed it, like I said, in 3 weeks. So that's an example of how the support connects all the dots and allows you to take advantage of our technology, the leads, all the extra activity that you're going to get, but you need to capitalize on that. So on our non-del loans, for example, when we're the lender, those loans we disclose in-house. And also you meet with your team leader. As soon as the loan application is received, you meet with your team leader for structure guidance. Then when the file is ready to be disclosed, you meet with your team leader again to review it, make sure everything's okay, get the green light, and then the team leader discloses it right there at the end of the meeting. If it's a brokered file, still gets reviewed, but then you go to the portal of your choice to get it disclosed. If it's a non-del file, where we're the lender, as soon as the disclosures goes out, borrower signs, that file goes into intake and it gets registered and submitted to underwriting. You don't have to do any of that. Our intake processors do that. And as soon as it's approved, it gets assigned to a processor, in-house processor. You go to, you go over the conditions with the processor, and then you work together to get the clear to close. If it's a broker deal, you have the option of using third-party processing or self-processing, right? But most of the deals that we do tend to be obviously non-del, since we get better pricing on those than on the broker deals. But there are always those options, like a 575 credit score DSCR borrower that we broker out, and the fixed flip ground-up construction and commercial loans are brokered out as well. Everything else we close in-house. So looking forward to helping you all structure your deals. Zoom room meetings. I guess I forgot to mention, I'm in the Zoom room from 2 to 6 every day actually now. So that's definitely giving extra support to the team, along with your team leaders and all the other support you get. So looking forward to helping you all structure your loans.
All right, thank you, Jose. Now let's go ahead and get into the next steps here for when you are ready to move forward. Let me go ahead and share my screen again. So when you're ready to move forward, you're going to go ahead and go to the mortgagecalculator.com/join, and you're going to sign up for the plan that's applicable to you. Now, if you are an experienced loan officer, an active experienced loan officer, you would come on as a senior, meaning you've closed at least 6 loans in the past 12 months that you're active and current, and you can go ahead and come on board as a senior loan officer. Now, if you are not a current loan officer closing, maybe you're new, or maybe you haven't been active in a while and you haven't closed 6 loans in the past 12 months, you would come on board as a loan officer until you've done so. So go ahead and sign up for the plan that's applicable to you. Now, it's going to take you right to sign the initial compensation agreement. You do not need to sign it right then. It's going to email you a copy. So you can go ahead and take your time. But once you do sign that initial agreement, that is what will kick off all of the next steps. We'll reach out to get your information, sponsor your license, and all that kind of good stuff. So the mortgagecalculator.com/join is where you can go to get started. If you have any questions, you can email our onboarding team at onboarding@themortgagecalculator.com. Now, with that being said, we appreciate everybody tuning in, and we look forward to working with you.